What's up? I'm Noelle at Noelle's Notions, and this is Fame by the Flame with Penny.
What's going on?
All right, Penny, so is that your name because you're lucky and you're always so bright?
No. I'm always so bright. No, so my last name is Pennicity.
Okay.
I'm Sicilian, and when I was young, I played football, and you can't pronounce my name very easily.
I was about to say, can you repeat it again because I already lost
Yeah,
it.
it's Panaciti.
Panaciti.
Yeah, that's how you say it.
Got it.
And so they just called me Penny
Got
when I
it.
was a kid, and it stuck
Yes.
my whole life. So
So now here we are, right?
Yeah.
From what, high school football or elementary football?
I started playing football when I was 6.
Okay. Right, so you've been playing the field for a long time. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So, okay, going back, you said now you got your nickname from childhood. Now, how did you start your self in the music scene? I know that you're from Sacramento originally. You just moved
Kind of.
Kind of. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
why don't we start from the beginning then?
Okay, so I was born and raised in San Jose.
Okay.
And I lived in Gilroy, which is like a suburb south of San
Yep.
Jose. And then I moved from Gilroy when I was 14 years old to Cameron Park.
Okay.
Yeah, to Cameron Park,
Yeah.
which is like up in the foothills. And then I moved to Sacramento when I was 17.
Okay.
And so my whole like music career has been in Sacramento.
Got it. And
Yep.
how did you start in the music scene then?
What, like when I was in Sacramento or just
Yeah,
in general?
well, I mean, let's kind of go back to, you seem like a guy who's always had, his dreams and his investment in music, but you kind of took off when you came to Sacramento. So
Yeah.
maybe let's go back to what are your influences in music, and then we can go into maybe how you started
Yeah.
putting out some songs.
So my brother was a musician.
Okay.
He started recording music when, like, he was 6 years older than me, and so when I was like 6 and he was like 12, he started
Okay.
recording music, and I was just always with him. I was with him 24/7. You know what I mean? And so just being influenced by watching him create music, and he was a phenom. Like he's the type of person that could hear like a song on the radio, pick up the guitar, play it.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? And so that was just our life. We were just
Yeah.
I was into music. You know what I mean? And then I started writing. I started writing when I was like 7, 8 years old. It was just like my outlet. I got
Okay.
into like poetry.
Cool.
And then so I got into hip hop probably when I was like 13, 14 years old. And so I learned how to transfer like my poetry over to the structure of like a hip hop song. And then when I was 17 in high school, that's when I started recording.
Okay, and so what kind of made that switch over from, kind of slam poetry and just kind of writing it down into a journal to actually having those lyrics come across and, recording?
I was just, I don't know. I recorded one time. I was on like a computer with like one of those little computer mics,
Yeah.
that popped up. You know
Back
what I mean?
in the day,
and
right?
you could like move it around and shit. And I had this little tiny like recording like program on it, and I would just record myself freestyling, and I just
Okay.
loved hearing myself. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And then so I ended up pursuing it and just fell in love with it. We used to make these like 6, 7 song little CDs
Okay.
in high school, and I just passed them out at parties.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I got into the studio, and the rest is history.
Cool. And so how did you make that leap then from, the 916 to now being in LA? I mean, obviously that's exponential growth of, being kind of a hometown rapper to now the big leagues.
Yeah.
What kind of made that transition happen for you?
I started going down to LA a couple years ago, just developing just connections and networking with different producers, different like booking agents. I started doing shows down in LA.
Okay.
And so just it presented more opportunities for where I was trying to go with it. And so I made the leap, and I've been down there for the last couple months. So
All right.
it's been a great
Well,
opportunity.
and I know you miss the city of trees, but how are you liking down south?
LA is cool. It's
Okay.
different. It's a different vibe. It's a different energy. The people
Yeah.
are different. But that's just because the environment's different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I love Sacramento with all my heart and soul, though. I mean, this is, if there's any place that like I consider home, it's Sac.
Well, shout out to all the fam out there that considers City of Trees home too. I mean, I know that we're showing love for it, and I know that you're going to continue to show love for it as you move and grow as an artist. And you're no newbie to kind of traveling around. You just got back from a tour.
Yeah.
Yes. You want to tell some tour stories, some
Yeah,
behind the scenes?
So in March of 2017, I got booked for my first headline tour.
Cool.
Now I had been on a couple tours prior. And they were just kind of smaller independent tours or touring behind someone as well. I toured with Jeff Turner. I've been on a couple tour dates of like some other bigger acts, but never been on my actual own tour, you know. And so I got booked and we did 28, 29 shows.
Oh my gosh.
In like 35, 36 days.
So literally like only a couple hours of sleep in between, right?
Yeah.
No rest for the wicked.
Dude. And every night's a party.
Yeah, right?
And so we would have nights where we would literally get done performing 1:32 a.m., you know, pack up all our merch, have to jump right in the tour van and drive all the way through the night to get to our next date, show up sometime in the morning, get in our hotel, maybe get 3-4 hours of sleep, go to sound check, and do it all over again.
Oh, man.
You know what I mean? But it was amazing.
Good,
It was a cool experience.
Well, and speaking of merch, I know you brought a little something with you, right? Can you pull that up so fans can see that?
So this is my clothing line. It's called MSML. It stands for Music Saved My Life. And this is our brand new hoodie that we are presenting. It'll be available in the next week, probably by the time this is out. You can buy it. You know what I mean? So I've had this line, MSML, for the last 3 or 4 years. And it started out at a music video. I had just printed up shirts just for like the concept of the video. You know what I mean? And you can't print up like 1 or 2 shirts.
No, it's like hundreds.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's like the minimum order.
Exactly. So I had a bunch.
Trust me, guys, I've tried.
I had a bunch left over, and so I was like, all right, well, I got to do something with it, and so I just started selling them.
Okay.
And that's the rest is history. I mean, we've probably sold over 5,000-6,000 units in the last couple of years. You know?
So it went from just selling shirts to now a whole brand. Okay, and what is you said MSML is Music Saved My Life, right? And now is that something that came from a personal, you know, growth of you kind of using music to develop the sense of self and who you are today?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool.
So music, I mean, a couple like chapters of my life where music helped me. Like when I was a kid, you know, just dealing with just a lot of issues and problems and chaotic home life. Music was my escape out of that. You know what I mean? Allow myself to just express myself, you know, and expel emotions. And then later on in life, if I hadn't made like the decision to pursue music, you know, I was just not living a very healthy life. Yeah. You know what I mean? So removing myself from those situations and putting myself down a pathway to follow music as a career.
You just talked a lot about how you kind of came into your own as a musician. Now I want to talk about my story, well, more so your story, and the significance of, you know, that in terms of you as an artist today and how it kind of, you know, made you.
Yeah. So I have a song called My Story. So everyone out there, if you type in Penny My Story on YouTube, go check that out. I put this song out about 5 years ago. Okay. And it was just pretty much putting out my story to the world in a sense of just being me. And I think it's really important as an artist just to be yourself. Yeah, definitely. And if you have a testimony, you know, let it be known. You know, because there's a lot of people that can relate to that. And there's been a lot of people all across the world that have reached out to me, you know, just based off of that song has given them hope to, you know, to do better or to not give up or, you know, to pull themselves out of a hard situation. You know what I mean? And that's the beautiful thing about music is it gives people a voice. And also the people that are fans that listen to it, it allows them to know that they're not alone. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Well, I definitely think it connects everybody, and especially those out there who are listeners, makes them really aware that, you know, these people who are up on the stage are just like everybody else. They just happen to find a passion and pursue it, and that's why they're up there. But ultimately, it's like that story that you have to tell can be relatable to a lot of other people who are listening out there for you.
Exactly.
And now I do want to talk about what you know about. Because I've been watching your Instagram videos, and I like that. That and The Weekend, too. So what are those, what is those, Otter Pops? Is that what those girls are sucking on?
Yeah, that's exactly what they're sucking on.
I love some Otter Pops. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about that. And by the way, fans, if you're not already following Penny, do so now. You're always putting out dope shit. And what is your Instagram handle so that they can best connect with you?
It's Penny, Penny, MSML. So Penny, MSML, Penny Music Saved My Life. Yeah, so Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, SoundCloud, YouTube.
Cool. And it's all the same on all of them, Penny?
Yep.
Is it Penny MSML for most of them? Okay,
Yep.
cool. So fans, if you guys haven't already checked out his new music videos, please do so. I love the graphics on him. What you know about, I really liked, first off, you start out in a wig and a mustache.
Yep.
Curious to me.
That's
And
Denny.
and how did that kind of come into your music profile?
So Denny is a character that I created. There's a song going back about 5 years ago that I did with my homie Blow. Shout out to Blow's Art with Knockdown Studios. He's a good friend of mine.
Okay.
He's an amazing producer and an artist. And we did this song. It's called Dickhead. Check it out.
Check out that
Penny,
one too.
Dickhead. And we had this concept with the video to create like this other alias for me that's like the dickhead version of Penny.
Got it. Okay.
And we named him Denny.
Got it. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. He's supposed to be like my
alter ego.
Exactly. And so he's supposed to be like my dickhead, like janky salesman uncle.
So do you use this alter ego in most of your music videos, or how does this?
This is the third one he's been in.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
so you just make random guest appearances. Okay.
Exactly.
So do you have multiple alter egos, or is this just the one?
Denny's just the one for now, but I mean, I'm sure it'll happen.
If things get more ratchet, there'll probably be a third, right? It just goes down the line of debauchery.
Right. Exactly.
Cool.
And then the weekend, the weekend. That's an actual true story.
So the Otter Pops are real.
Yeah. So
this happened at the house party.
Penny the Weekend. Check that out on YouTube, and it was literally like a weekend that like I had. It was just a crazy weekend full of just partying
Lots of
and
licking and sucking,
fights and drugs and you name it happened. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of stuff that you rap about is all real life.
Absolutely.
I mean, like you said, with your tour, I'm sure you have a lot of hidden stories that'll come out on 2018's new drops, right?
Absolutely.
And speaking of which, in the new year, what can we expect from you coming up? Any collaborations or new drops you have?
Yeah. So I got some dope music coming. I'm working on a project right now. It's called Millennial.
Okay, cool.
And so the basis of the project is really just having a lot of fun. So a lot of my music is very deep. It's very, it can be very poetic. And so I wanted to focus on bringing something different to the table.
Yeah.
And really just having stuff that's really fun.
Okay.
And so a lot of the music on Millennial is just all kind of fun, party-based, real heavy.
So moving kind of more lighthearted as opposed to kind of your earlier stuff, which is a lot more insightful or poetic.
Yeah, there's still stuff on there that is like that.
Okay.
You know, because it's all about balance for me. You know what I mean? Like, I always want to stay true to who I am as an artist and who I am as a person. But there's definitely a lot. Like, I got another one dropping with Black Tuxedo.
Oh yes. Shout out Black Tuxedo.
Yeah.
They've been on Fame by the Flame. Love those boys.
Phenomenal group, and so we have another because we dropped one together about 4 or 5 months ago called In My Face, and then I'm gonna drop another one featuring them in the next couple months too.
Cool.
And it's called Flex, and so it's fun, it's partying, it's
awesome.
It's tight.
Awesome. So fans, you guys can look out for that collaboration coming up in this next year, as well as some other stuff I'm hoping. I mean, you're always putting out new stuff, so I'm sure that's just the tip of the iceberg, you guys.
Yeah. So 2018, I'll have at least 15 to 16 songs released, a project released, and another tour in spring.
Cool. And again, you guys, you can follow Penny on all his social media channels as well as listen to all his new drops. So I know that you said you are going to do a collaboration with Black Tuxedo. You've already collaborated with them in the past. Now, is there anybody that you want to shout out that you would like to collaborate with in the future?
I would love to collaborate with a couple artists.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of Young Goalie. Do you know him? He's from the Bay Area.
Yes.
He's a phenomenal artist, but he's like he's a real supporter too. You know, he's a real down to earth person.
Well, I find a lot of people that rep the Bay Area really rep the Bay Area. So I appreciate that. Repping your hometown.
Exactly. I did a song with Jeff Turner.
Okay.
Do you guys know who Jeff Turner is?
Yes.
Yep. So me and Jeff have a song that they'll be probably releasing this spring.
Cool.
And then when it comes to working with artists, I'll work with anybody that I feel is a phenomenal artist. They don't have to necessarily have a platform.
Okay.
Because it's for me, it's all about creating something amazing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's all types of artists out there that are great. Shout out to a couple people. Shout out to True Story Sean and the whole True Story camp. Lil Darion. Lil Darion's a phenomenal artist. Shout out to him. That's someone I would love to work with too.
Yeah.
You know
well,
what I
and
mean?
Lil Darion's been on Fame by the Flame too, so I got to connect you guys.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I mean, just a lot of producers. You know, I mean, being down in LA now, I mean, there's a lot of people that are involved. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's just all about networking and putting yourself in a position to make the best art possible.
Well, you definitely are making moves, and I know that everybody's excited to kind of see who you're going to move on to your next chapter with. Now, I don't know if this is selfish, but I personally would love to see you work with 50 Cent.
Okay.
Penny, 50 Cent,
Right.
you know, like,
That's
more
good.
than pocket change, you guys. These
Right.
two would kill it.
Yeah. That's good.
But, I mean, I'm definitely excited for all the stuff they have coming up and some future stuff. If you guys need to hit him up. I do want to talk a little bit about the different types of music that you like. Because I know that your bread and butter is hip hop, but that you do expand beyond, other genres into, what would you say is kind of your next,
Yeah, so
like in your back pocket?
Yeah, so I didn't start listening to hip hop until I was 12, 13 years old.
Okay.
I was really heavily like influenced by a lot of like 90s rock.
Yes, 90s.
Industrial. I like my favorite bands are Nine Inch Nails.
Okay.
Shout out to Trent Reznor. I mean, he's a freaking genius. I actually on my last album, The Resistance, me and Blow, we sampled and recreated. You know that song "Closer"?
Yes.
I want to fuck you like an animal. But, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the name of it. It's called Closer. And so we sampled it and remade it, and we made a song called Black Widow featuring 24/7 and wrapped like the same type of concept around it. And but it's not necessarily a rap song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's something that's very unique. It's kind of industrial. It's kind of rap, but it's its own little entity. And I love Deftones.
Yeah.
You know, they're a Sacramento native band too. It's funny. The first show I ever did in Sac was in 2008, I believe.
Okay.
I wasn't even 21, and I had to be like a special approval to even.
I was gonna say you had the X's on your hands,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
When you're going into the club.
in Harlow's, and I wasn't even 21 years old. And Chino was actually in the crowd at the first show that I ever performed at. So that was a cool experience because I grew up really loving Deftones, loving Nirvana, Stone Temple Pilots. I like a lot of blues too.
Cool.
My dad was a blues player.
Okay, so yeah, so it's all kind of tying in. I see that you have really strong ties to your family. I mean, obviously your brother was a main inspiration for you. You know, your dad's popular music that he listened to kind of influenced your sound. Is there going to be any more of that fusion of kind of different genres mixing together in this new stuff that you're going to be putting out?
Yeah, I mean, there's a song that I have right now called Time Lapse, and the production is very unique. It's very, it's not like hip hop, like my homie Ty. Shout out my homie Ty, great producer, great artist. Produced Time Lapse, and it has like a very euphoric, like kind of vibe
like kind of trancey
to it.
A little bit.
Yeah, exactly. But the way that we made it is it's my deliveries are very 90s hip hop. The concept and the structure of the song is still very hip hop, but the chords and notes and just the production is very kind of trancey. It's pretty tight.
Cool. Well, I'm excited to kind of hear all the new stuff that you have coming out. Go back and listen to some of your old stuff, like your story. Go back 5 years, kind of start from there to now, right?
Exactly.
Kind of see the progression. I mean, you've definitely progressed as an artist, and you can kind of see that by all your music.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, before I let you go, I want to say thank you to Almana Labs. I know you're very familiar with Jay, and thankfully so are we. He's been sponsoring us, so thank you, Jay, and Almana Labs.
Thanks, Jay.
Yes. Well, I will clink you into the new year. Yes.
Cheers.
Whew, some good cognac. All right, fans. Well, I'm Noelle at Noelle's Notions, and this is Fame by the Flame with Penny.
Everyone have a blessed day.